All right, Vivek, today is Wednesday. It is June 25th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Before we get going, I want to talk about ChevyDriveChicago.com. It's a new season, but it's always truck season at your local Chevy dealer. ChevyDriveChicago.com is all of the information you need to research your future Chevy truck and locate a dealer near you. Maybe you're looking for something a little smaller for summer, street parking. The Chevy lineup of SUVs has it all. Great style at great prices. You'll look good and feel good about what you're driving. If an EV is what you need, your local Chevy dealer is ready to take you for a test drive and show you all of the latest technology in these top-tier electric SUVs. I was helping drive Dave back to the airport last week, and they had a Tahoe, and it was great.
Nice.
It was comfortable. Me, Dave,
Tahoes are great.
Security Pat Clem. It was like a little ZD.
What do you mean you were helping them drive back?
So it was a rental, and
okay.
Spider was going to have to take it down and drive back. I was like, dude, don't do that. Don't do that.
That was a good guy move.
That's legitimately 3 hours both ways.
3 hour tour.
So I just took it, and I just drove the Tahoe for the day.
Okay.
And took it back the next day because we did a video shoot.
You probably volunteered because you wanted to drive that Tahoe.
I did.
Probably.
I did. It was beautiful. It was comfortable. It was spacious. The air was fantastic.
You got to have good air.
Yes, the air was.
These days, the AC is essential.
Essential. So head to ChevyDriveChicago.com to learn more and find your dealer today. You're right. The air is essential because it's hot as fuck. It feels like summer finally started last week in Chicago.
Yeah.
Finally.
But it's like Somalia out there. It's so hot.
Dude, crazy hot.
I'm convinced, like, speaking of car AC, I don't know if my car blows cold air or it's just blowing air, and that air happens to be colder than the normal
the
air.
one that's outside?
Yeah, because I have a 2006.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy.
Hunk of junk.
And I think that's everywhere in...
It happens so fast. It always does, though, but it's sticking around this time.
So
it's like a heat wave. Heat wave to start the summer.
Yeah. It was
out of nowhere.
No
I feel like we
transition
normally
to
get
it.
like a gradual,
Right.
you know, it's
incline.
Like you get used to 80, and then it's like, all right, now it's 95.
Yeah, not now. I played golf on Monday. Wanted to die, but it was a fun round. So it was a charity that my sister works for, and tell me about this, and tell me what you think about this. Obviously I entered the foursome. She's like, hey, we have an extra foursome. Do you want to play? I was like, sure. And I was like, I'm going to donate, no doubt. I just, silent auction, get the numbers going. I won a silent auction item.
Oh,
yes.
What'd you get?
I have a 20-minute performance by the Jesse White Tumblers.
You get a +1?
Oh,
No. They get to
to
come to me.
is this down on the basketball court? Or is
That's
this a
what
block party?
I was going to talk to Big Cat. I was like, it's either going to be probably during the yak for the basketball court.
Please bring the Jesse White Tumblers here.
Yeah, or they're going to be at the block party
yeah,
in the alley.
If you're not from Chicago, this doesn't make much sense, even if you are. For some reason, we have like household gymnastics groups called the Jesse White Tumblers.
And they used to do the Bulls games.
Yes, you guys knew what it was, right?
I used to be a gymnast, and I was obsessed with the Jesse White Tumblers. And when you have like a bat mitzvah, it's a tradition to raise money for like an organization.
Uh-huh.
And so I raised money for the Jesse White Tumblers.
Oh,
when I was
nice.
13, and they did a show at my school, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I got to like be in it and like.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. That's really.
I love the Jesse White Tumblers.
That's
to be
sweet.
clear, Jesse White, not a gymnast by any means, right? Just our secretary who has his own tumbling team.
Dude, I should know that because I had him on the podcast in like 2019. I can't recall. He's actually.
Did you ask him?
He's on the famous picture.
Yeah, I was there with you.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe did he just like buy a tumbling team? And
I don't know.
That's him
I gotta
down-
get more background. Yeah, if you're looking down at the thing,
He's right next to the financial dominatrix.
Yeah. So my sister
I
worked.
want to run that show.
I know. My sister worked for him for like 12 years, and then so obviously like, she got him to throw that in for the silent auction, and there was no bid on it yet. So I was like, all right, I gotta show the Tumblr some.
Can we ask what you bid?
Yeah, it's $500.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
exactly.
Spence that shit.
Winner.
Bring him into the office. Yeah.
So it was a good bid.
was part of you worried about winning since it was like a family thing and like, oh, people are gonna say this is rigged or some bullshit?
No, because anyone could have bid after me. It was a silent auction.
Yeah.
Do you
true.
feel
like was 500 the minimum bid, or did you?
500 was the minimum bid.
Okay.
So like it was,
Yeah.
I can't just let the tumblers go empty-handed.
I didn't know if
Someone had to
if
take-
you just like priced yourself out by mistake.
No,
You could have been like
exactly.
$50.
No, although my free round turned into a $700 round very fast.
Yeah.
But
Couple
whatever.
of cocktails.
For a good cause.
Jesse White tumblers. Yeah.
Exactly.
Where are the tumblers at these days?
They don't. I feel like they don't do Bulls games anymore, right?
Are they like doing Wolves games, doing anything?
I think they do a lot of like Taste of Chicago's and shit like that too.
Really?
Also, I gotta say, I never knew that Jesse White, the Secretary of State, was the same Jesse White as Jesse White Tumblers.
Right.
Oh yeah. So
That-
question: you grew up in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Did you know who they were in high school?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
Dude, they were like household when I was in grade school.
yes.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse for my fucking idiot friend who golfed with me, who was in my foursome, and afterwards, like we're riding back, he's like, where are these tumblers? Like, why do they not have them there for you? Like, are they gonna fit in your cabinets?
What
He
the
thought
fuck?
they were like tumblers. I was like,
to drink out of.
yeah. And this guy, he grew up in Chicago. He went to the same grammar school as me, and he moved to Huntley when
Dude, this
I
would
was
be
in
a
high school.
side business. We just get
What's
tumblers.
what tumbler was he talking about?
He thought I was talking about like
Like
a
a Yeti
fucking
tumbler.
yeah, like a
Yeah.
Yeti tumbler.
That's like the fifth kind of tumbler I would think of after that.
I know.
I think it might be the second one. Name another tumbler.
I never even knew that was a word.
You ever heard of a
that.
tumbler?
Not for that.
Oh,
water bottle,
Jesse White
right?
tumblers are my only tumbler.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's water bottle. You're
Yeah.
right.
I will say though, it's hard to even like growing up. You knew the name, but you're just like, am I combining our Secretary of State with like a gymnast group? This doesn't even make sense. Is this like to what Chief was saying?
It
This
does
has to be
not
the
make
same
sense.
Jesse White, right? It's like a
are we
Mad
sure
Lib.
it's the same Jesse White?
Yeah,
Yes,
that was
positive.
from the source himself.
Then
We interviewed
how?
him.
But did you ask him about that?
Oh, yeah.
If it's them.
If he how he started the Jesse White
So
tumbler?
I looked it up about there's a website. So Jesse White Tumblers were created in 1959 to provide a positive alternative for inner city kids. Team members must stay away from gangs, drugs, alcohol, and stay in school to maintain a minimum C average. And the team consists of male and female participants as young as age 6.
Dude, here he is, right there with his bright red shirt and white pants.
I'm not seeing anything about. I know he's a veteran. He was a gymnast as a kid. He taught gymnastics in college and worked as a gymnastics coach
Oh,
and teacher for the Chicago Park District
we go.
YMCA,
Well, I'll be goddamn.
Metropolitan Chicago. So yes, he is a
I mean,
tumbler.
you had to figure. It's just it's not out there enough.
Tryouts are coming up, boys.
I know.
September 13th.
I mean, now I'm like afterwards, I'm like, fuck, I just spent all this money, but it is going to be electric here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Like people are going to be like,
Dude.
what the fuck
Bring-
is going
bring
on?
put the
bucket
hot
boys in.
put the hot dog back up there.
I
Get
know.
the tumblers up there.
For real?
Yeah.
They would fucking get that hot dog,
In a
no problem.
second. Yeah.
You're right about that. So yeah, that's my story about winning an auction.
How old is Jesse White now?
He's older. He's not running anymore. He's,
No, I know,
oh, yeah,
but he
yeah.
was like, I feel like he was 80 when he was Secretary
Yeah.
of State.
For sure. He's an older dude. For sure.
He's 91.
91, bro. Yeah. He's an old guy, but he's doing great from what I understand. Yeah. So look out
Congrats.
for that. I don't know if it's gonna be that or it would be funny to see them tumbling in the alley with the piano man. Like that would
Hey,
be.
can they? Like, can they be on those surfaces doing triple flips?
I looked it up, and like
You got a bounce house? What
my-
do we got?
my coupon says it's a 20-minute performance. It has if it's outside, there can't be damp or wet asphalt
gotta just
or
bring it here.
grass. I know. I assume they would prefer that because
Yeah.
it's also like closer to the city and
We also
a weekday.
we gotta have him give lessons. We all gotta tumble.
Oh God, we're hopeless on that.
Yeah, but it'd be funny.
Find who's the best
Who's the best
gymnastics
tumbler?
person.
I think
Who do you thinks of that would said that terribly?
Who do you think would be the best?
Who do you think would say that they would be the best?
The guy who thinks he's the best at everything. What's that, Dave?
tumbling.
I
Fox
could
Dave.
actually see him being a good tumbler. He's
I
got
will
like
say
the right
being
physique.
short is an advantage.
Yeah.
Is it?
Low center of gravity.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna love that you said that.
Oh man.
I think it'd be super funny to see what is the smallest space possible they'll perform in. Like if they were just in a room.
Do it in the garage.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just doing somersaults and
I know.
Yeah.
No, I can't make heads or tails on what would be funnier.
I think the block party is objectively funnier.
Like imagine
But
those guys
doing
just
it
going
here
down
is-
the alley.
It'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
But it would be a better video having them here.
Yeah.
Using your power lines as a tightrope.
Yeah, exactly. Well, stay tuned.
Have them get you a beer, just like do handsprings to the fridge.
I'm excited.
Yeah, stay tuned. What else was going on?
Do you think this is... So, I don't know why I lose my patience with this specifically, but I do. If I'm meeting up with a friend at a bar and say he's just there and like 2 of us are coming, and I get there and they're sitting at the bar, not a table, and it's 2 of them, and there's not a third chair. It's like, why are you sitting? Why aren't you saving 2 seats for the bar instead of waiting until I come in to inevitably have to move to a table?
This is one of those things where like they won't seat your whole party until everybody's there.
No, it's on my friend who's just like, oh, I know I'm going to be meeting up with 2 other guys. I only see 1 empty chair at the bar. I'm still going to sit here, then wait until the third person gets here to then move. You know what I mean?
There were tables available?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I that's a whole nother discussion for me as well, because I think that turns into if you're a bar or a table guy. So I'd like to get into that too, if we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. What are you?
I'm a table guy.
So you'll sit, if you're the first one, like he's saying, you'll sit at a table alone instead of sitting at the bar?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I know people are coming.
Yeah.
We could pivot to that. Listen, if he was at the bar and there was enough seats for the party at the bar, everything's fine and dandy. But there isn't.
Yeah.
And he knows that.
So there's no. So he. Okay. So he wasn't just there temporarily. He was
always intending on
being like, yeah, you guys figure it out.
Yes. Like if he knew that it was only temporary because there weren't enough seats there, just pivot to the table to begin with. You know? Ideally, I like the bar, but if there's not enough seats for everyone, there's not enough seats for everyone. So you have to go to the table.
If there is more than 2 people and you don't have a nice corner spot where everyone could kind of see each other, I want a table.
But let me ask you this, does it matter like if you know you're going in there for just 1 or 2 beers, or if you're going to get food? Because I could see you going to a table if you're like in for the long haul, like everyone's going to be ordering food.
getting food, you're at the table.
For sure. But you're right. If it's 1 or 2 beers, all right, bar's fine.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's just generally me altogether. But no, you're right. I mean, he should have described the table.
Yeah, we could pivot. Like I said, I get irrationally impatient about certain things, and that's it.
Because you showed up and there was nowhere for you to go.
Yeah, and I'm just standing around like, well, what do you think was going to happen?
But why didn't you just go to the table right away?
It's more like, why didn't he just do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No, I get that. But that's what I would say is like, unless if he was like, oh no, let me finish my beer. Then it's like, no, dude, just bring your beer to the table.
Right.
Or he had to close out and shit too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on like going to the bar at a nicer place as opposed to a table? Like at a nice restaurant, you choose the bar over a table.
I feel like that's only if you can't sit anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like that's Armitage Jailhouse.
Yes.
But you would still still be willing to do that as opposed to not having a table?
Yes.
If the place is that high in demand, yes.
Okay.
If the place is like, yeah, I'm just feeling this, but I could get it another time, no.
Well, I asked because you said you're a table guy, and it doesn't seem like you.
Or if you want the fucking burger at Mott Street.
For sure. Like I that's the same thing. I went to Mott Street.
Bunch of bullshit. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Do you agree with me though, or
no? You'll settle for the bar then.
I'll settle for the bar
okay.
at some point, but it has to be a place that I know. Like, hey, you're lucky to settle in the bar.
Okay,
you know?
fair.
Yeah.
Because they're so.
You're just happy to be there.
Just happy to be there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're like sitting every other with your buddy, the stranger in between.
Yeah. Are you guys with me though? Because I have a friend who just loves the bar. And I don't dislike the bar, but if you got
depends on the size of the group.
Yeah, if you got more than 2 people, you're boxed out.
If it's 3 people, you can sit 3 at the bar and still carry a conversation. Once you get the 4th person, someone's inevitably
the 2 ends are just might as well be in fucking Boston and San Francisco.
Yeah, 3 is the max for the bar. But I also hate being like just 2 at a table in the corner with like no other interaction with anyone else at the bar.
You don't like the optics of how that looks?
You also then you got to look at the person.
Right. It feels like an interview.
Because I have a friend who's weird about that too. He won't like to go to dinner with 2 people because he always thinks that they'll assume that we're gay.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm like, dude, get the fuck over it.
He might be gay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
I know.
Now, you do have a lot of friend dinners, though. I feel like you go out to dinner with your friends a lot.
For sure.
Which I
don't think that about dinner, but I do think that about movies.
If you go with one other guy?
Going with one dude to the movies.
Really?
Because now we're at a point where everyone's like, dude, you got to go to the movies by yourself. It's a great experience.
Movies are great alone.
Yeah.
However, I do have some friends who like the movies, and it's like, Do you want to go see this? Because I know you're a movie
Hey,
guy.
3's fine. 2.
2's not allowed. No, because movies are, but it's always. What about this? There's always like if I do go to the movies with a friend, there's always an empty seat between us.
I think that's nice.
Yeah.
I would do that with a date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be.
We'll put the
perfect.
popcorn in the chair.
I mean, yeah, I would do that too, but I don't know if that means you're beating the accusations, dude.
Especially I got this one. There's this theater, and you know where it is, and I got this. Like I told you about the Lincoln box. It's like
Yeah.
a handicap box,
Mm-hmm.
and I just book it all the time. It's like a private fucking skybox for the movies.
Is it off to the side like
It's
the Lincoln
dude,
boxes, like the opera boxes are?
You can't go. No, it's not off to the side. It's top corner.
Okay.
Yes, you can't go through the theater. You got to go through like a back exit to an elevator.
And you can just do that being able-bodied?
No, technically, well, you can.
What do you
But-
say? My handicap friend didn't show up?
Don't make it seem like that.
That's how it seems.
The
You're
rules
bragging
are,
about taking the handicap.
the rules are if a handicapped person comes, you must move, which I will if that ever happens. Has not happened yet.
Okay.
They charge an extra for that box?
No.
Whoa.
So the box is further away, and it has a separate
Yeah,
entrance.
maybe I'll bring you to my box.
To my box.
Pause,
Yeah.
pause.
But I don't understand. Yeah, the two of you together.
Yeah.
Right.
Bring my one male friend to my box.
I'm telling you,
Movie.
once you see this box, you're gonna be like, "This is
But
incredible."
like, what's the? I don't understand what the benefit is. Just more room.
Also, do you know what happened to Lincoln?
Yeah, it is. It crosses my mind. Trust me. This box is incredible.
How
But
big?
like,
How many
what are we
seats?
talking about? Like, are the
There
chairs
is
different?
there is one.
Is there a
two-
table in there?
I think there's 5 seats,
All right. You're not about to have 5 handicapped people rolling up. You'll be fine.
but that's typically not for the handicapped people. It's like one, and then there's a spot for a wheelchair, and then there's like 2 spot for a wheel. So that's kind of how it is. So I'm taking the companion seat technically.
The wheelchair person's +1.
But
Yes.
is it like a recliner? Like,
Oh yeah.
okay.
Oh yeah. It's a recliner up there. You know,
you like that view though?
there's a little bit of a bottom obstruction,
Oh, that would
Oh.
drive me crazy.
I
but
feel like
that's not
that's
bad. It's not real. It's not. Just maybe I'll take it in my box. And you'll see it, and you'll understand how
Okay.
exclusive it feels up there.
Yeah, maybe.
Although someone did take my popcorn out of there one time, and I've never been more rattled.
How do they do that?
I saw Barbenheimer, and
From the box.
from the box. Yeah, by myself. I spent 6 hours in that box.
Yeah, this is a better because I did music box theater for Oppenheimer, and I love the music box theater, but it was maybe the worst movie viewing experience of my life.
So for people who don't know, Music Box is like
It's 100 years old.
Yes, just
It's
like-
got a lot of charm, but it is not well air conditioned, and the seats are small and uncomfortable.
wooden seats, right?
No, they have a cushion on them.
Oh, okay.
But they've been like doing renovations to it. They're adding a second theater there actually.
Oh, good.
Bought
That
the
makes me
place next
happy to
door.
hear. I love that.
Yeah, so they must have some funds, which is nice to hear.
Good.
But it is. I was like, I gotta get this Robert. I don't care about this fucking storyline. Blow up the bomb and let's get the fuck out of here.
I know. I remember he was so excited when Oppenheimer was coming up. He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to see it at the Music Box. Obviously, a cool venue." And then afterwards,
Well, they
it's
were
gonna be an
doing like
Astro-
the 36 millimeter film.
Yeah, they were doing
Yeah.
the cool view, the cool camera shot. Is that a right way to say it?
Yeah.
I don't know exactly. 30 millimeter, and they had an astrophysicist for a Q&A. after.
I left before that guy.
I know, because
I was
you
like-
were so excited, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Dude, how was it?"
My balls have never been sweaty.
You would be
They're
so
the
excited. for
Sweatiest
that.
balls of all time.
Yeah.
Chief was giddy to speak to an astrophysicist.
Yeah, I like smart people.
Yeah. See, I had a better time in Lincoln's box.
You definitely did. If I was in Lincoln's box, I'd probably stay for the guy
Probably.
Yeah.
1,000%.
or a girl.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
know, yeah.
Just astrophysicist.
You know, Danny got yelled at for that once.
What?
For what? Being sexist?
Yeah.
Let's hear about this. What?
Do you know this is true? Don't
What?
deny this. When we went to Second City,
Don't let the girls at
Oh.
the Shore House hear about sexist Danny.
that's what
Oh,
I'm
this
saying.
ain't. This is so fucking dumb. This girl. This girl. I mean, biting my tongue. You know how we were in a writing show, and they're like, "Oh, let's pitch ideas for our scene," and the teacher would be like, "Someone give me a location. I don't know. Let's see, a movie theater, diner. Okay, movie theater. All right, now someone give me a person. Let's go. Band leader, mayor." And then he goes, "All right, let's give this mayor a problem he has to figure out." And I go, like, his car won't start. Then she goes, why is the mayor automatically a guy?
It was the fucking room stopped.
Ew, man.
And I said, because majority of mayors are, but you're right. It could be a girl.
It was so fucking funny. We were just sitting there, and this girl just snapped back at Dan.
You should have been like,
Eddie had to ask to go to the bathroom because he was laughing.
Why does the mayor have to be a guy?
It's like, oh, good point, Vanessa. Never thought of it that way.
And Danny was like, oh, yeah.
of course you didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, it was so funny, dude. So, yeah, that's why I said that about the astrophysicist.
You should have been like, it is a female mayor because a guy mayor would have had his car fixed already.
Oh, yeah, I'll say why you assuming his gender.
Yeah.
That's what I should have said.
Oh, man. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I mean, that was just all time.
Danny sexist.
That's not.
The whole group was like, yeah, that's so right. Like, why does he have to be?
Good
You
point.
could say I was a little outnumbered.
Yeah, and I wasn't on his side.
Eddie was about to dye his hair blue.
Let's we got the odd on the leash off the leash segment back today, boys. Let's
Good.
get into that.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how to frame this, but I had a situation with my cleaning lady who I love. She comes in, she cleans things I didn't even know were dirty, and everything is organized. So like she'll redo the pantry, like no detail is left undone. So everything she does is intentional. She cleans out the fridge, like wipes down all the things, and I keep my little rhythm gummies in the fridge. When I had to run and do Home Depot, so I left her money. I'm like, hey, here's the money. Here's your cash. It's on the cutting board. She goes, oh, thank you. And then I come back. The money's gone, but she's taken my weed gummies and put them where the money was, which is, to me, is just like, that felt like everything she puts is in a place for a reason. Like she knows how to organize. Like there's no way she just left those where the money was unintentionally. So I feel like my cleaning lady is judging me.
Yeah, what other reason would she have put them there? No other reason, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe I don't know.
She thinks they should be stored at room temp.
Maybe.
I don't know. But I felt like, oh man, Yolanda's disappointed in me.
Gummies are like the mildest form of consumption. Like dads are taking gummies, grandpas are taking gummies.
Yeah,
if it was like a blunt, I'd be like, all right. But Yolanda, get with the times.
Maybe they fell out of the fridge and she was like,
yeah, I'm trying to think of
Oh,
other
but
alternatives.
she took everything out. Like she takes the fridge apart and then
she
puts
does?
it all back together. And I'm like, oh, that fridge looks great.
She put everything back in its place besides those.
No, she does it better than that.
She does that every time.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Damn, I might need to get it. I might need to hire her. My lady don't do that.
She's the best. And then I was doing like a home renovation project, so I'm like, don't even worry about like the main living room and this other, like the other half of the house. So she just like found other things to clean for that time, like underneath, she's the best.
She's trying to clean that brain of yours, get rid of those gummies.
Yeah, honestly. But it's like, is it off the leash for me to feel judged? Or do you think she is actually trying to send me a message?
She must be, right? Because why wouldn't you put the gummies back where they were? And then not only that, I could see if you maybe misplaced them in the fridge, left them right by the fridge, but
It was where I
like-
left the money.
right. Is it off the leash for like maids to get involved in personal lives in general? Like think of like a family, maid finds the son's condoms, but tells the mom.
Yeah, it's off the leash.
Yeah,
For sure.
I'd say so too. But some of these parents have a really close relationship with the maid to the point where they're like friends.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I think it's like that your friends and neighbors show.
Yeah, I know.
They're in the weeds.
It's true.
Yeah.
But it's like, next time she comes over, next month or whatever, do I have to hide my drugs?
I would like to think a maid is held to the same standard as like a priest during reconciliation.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, the cops didn't show up
Yet.
yet, but
Does
it's
she
not
ever,
illegal.
Does she ever offer you advice on any other things and you take it? Does she offer you maybe you should eat this because this is healthier food, or you should try this because this is better for you?
I
You
would
accept
say
advice?
that English is not her strong suit.
Okay, true.
So, no, it's a hard enough time to be like, this is what I want done, as opposed to she's giving me life advice. I feel like this was her life advice, being like, Mr. Ryan, you don't need these.
She's putting that half-eaten meatball sub next to that weed too.
That could be it.
Yeah, I think you have to get to the bottom of it. you would know her better than us. Was this calculated?
I feel judged. I feel
I don't
judged.
think she should be judging you for that either. Like,
Yeah.
people take those before they go to bed.
That's when I take them.
Right.
There are the specific, like the nighttime.
It's definitely on the leash.
I don't even
for-
take them all the time, Yolanda. It's only when I have like existential stress going on. I need to fall asleep.
It's definitely on the leash for you to feel suspicious of Yolanda now.
Yeah. I'm not suspicious of her. She is an angel.
Yeah,
But
but
I feel like she's now looking at me in a different light.
I think now you have to like put them in your cupboard and see if she puts them back in the same spot where the money was.
She will. That was the other thing. I'm like, I don't know a place in my house where I could hide them from Yolanda because she cleans like every
Everywhere?
single everything.
Is it possible she left it right where the money was and was like, pay me in these next time?
Oh. Or like, can you get me some of these?
I would be surprised. She is like, she's an abuela.
Yeah.
Abuelita.
Say,
Uh-huh.
Tu quieres mota?
Yeah. I don't know what that meant.
You want
You
weed?
want mota as weed?
You want weed? Yeah.
I didn't know you could do Spanish like that.
For drugs, you can.
There's a lot you don't know about me.
That's true. Back in the old trench coat in Wrigleyville days.
Yeah.
Cállate.
Did you know that,
Cállate.
Emily?
No.
Danny used to
So
go
he's
around
lying. He's
Wrigleyville
lying.
in a trench coat with
He's lying.
drugs and sell them to people.
I didn't. Never sold drugs.
Well,
never owned a trench
yeah.
coat. It's just a weird lie that's so weird that people are like, oh, it has to be true.
I'm telling you.
Don't listen to my
Yeah, I
mom.
don't know what to say.
Yeah. Most people don't when he tells them that.
I had kind of a weird situation too. It's funny you bring that up.
That's off the leash, by the way.
What?
Yolanda, you're off the leash.
Yes.
I still love Yolanda, though.
Yeah. I walked downstairs last month when my lady was cleaning, and she broke the handle off the microwave.
Whoa.
Like it was just ripped off.
How strong is she?
And she's like, oh, like, you know, she doesn't speak great English either. And she's telling me, like, oh, like, I didn't, like, I was just clean. Like, I didn't, you know. Like, well, you did do it. You did break.
Yolanda would never do
It
that.
did break off. You know what I mean?
Fuck.
But then I'm like, what do I do? Do I just nothing? Well, that's what I did.
Doug, you're a pussy.
I know, yeah. Or do I go like, hey, like, my is it a free cleaning today? Because I got to buy a new microwave or what? I did nothing, to be clear, but
Unless she's Ronda Rousey. Like, how is she breaking off a microwave
it was
handle?
a handle. You
Yeah.
know? And I don't know.
How old is this microwave?
It's got to be ancient.
It's not that old, no. I mean, I don't know. However, I bought the house 2 years ago, so it's at least 2 years old, but it can't be that much older than that.
Yeah.
Are you still able to open the microwave, though? You have to
Your
push the
button?
button every time?
No, it's like now I got to grab it by the bottom
Oh.
to pull it out, which is like it's still functional, but obviously it looks kind of shitty because the handle's ripped off.
Yeah. And you can't fix it?
No,
Can't
this
super
thing
glue.
is like it's like a standard handle. There's two screws, one on the top, one on the bottom, and you could see like the
Screws are stripped.
yes where they're stripped out.
That's terrible because now you just need a whole new microwave.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. They added a fucking
Because of
tab
the
for
handle.
me. Yeah.
Installing a whole new appliance.
Yeah, I know. Just
This has to have happened before, like where maids break something by accident. Are they,
Yeah.
Are they liable?
yeah,
gotta
because I think like the classic thing is one of them breaking a vase or a plant or
Yeah.
a pot or
Vase.
something like that. Vase.
Knocking over someone's ashes.
Yeah,
you see on
like
TV.
I think that's a standard, and I don't know
But then this is tricky because she just broke a little part of it, but that does now require me to install
for
a whole
sure,
new microwave.
for sure. So
You gotta get someone else to pick the people you have working on your place.
Yeah, you stink.
This the garage guy.
Yeah.
Like,
I am going to give you Yolanda's
you
number.
got foot marks over your forehead.
I know, I that's why I said add it to the tab. I'm not kidding. I've just been.
These people you hire to help you end up costing you even more than they charge you.
I know. I'm just a fucking punching bag here.
Yeah. So I'm doing like that home renovation now. And I have a buddy who's like very good at it. I think you've probably met him.
Yeah.
Probably not if he's
Was
really
that-
good at it.
No, but
Was this concrete you were mixing the other day?
yeah.
Oh,
I'm laying concrete.
What?
Yeah.
That's fucking.
What are you doing
that
after?
sounds
We're gonna
like-
need to have you talk about that. a
Yeah,
little
that
bit.
sounds like a.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, oh my god, that sounds like a disaster.
That sounds
Why?
like someone you hire.
Buddy, we could have made fucking cake shakes.
I made a cake shake fine, I think.
Yeah, and then before it splattered all over
That
our
was
faces.
you.
Well, yeah, all of us got a little bit.
I don't think I got splat. Anyways, I'm like a real man, and I was gonna hire somebody, and I asked my buddy, like, do you have a flooring guy? Because he's like done a ton of renovation on his places. He's flipped houses before. That's in like his spare time because he has like another job. And he's like, well, what are you doing? And I showed him what I put into ChatGPT for the sunroom. He's like, well, we can just do this. So I had to there's stuff called self-leveling concrete, which I never knew was a thing. And you just mix it together. So I did all the demo, and then I've laid the concrete myself, and it's drying today, and the actual like vinyl flooring goes in today.
Wow.
So
Nice.
if I did it right, which he might come over and be like, well, we got to.
Oh, he's not.
He was there on Saturday, and he laid the first layer, but it wasn't enough. So I had to go back yesterday to get the floor to be more
But you
level.
tweeted, I saw you say I might not be a DIY guy. What happened?
Well, yeah. So the first batch of that concrete, because it's supposed to like pour out almost, he said it's supposed to look like a syrup, like that consistency. And then, so I was mixing it and it was like ready to go. And then he called and we were like going over, steps and everything. We were on the phone so long that the stuff like started to dry and harden in the bucket. So then when I went to pour it, I was like, fuck, this isn't doing what it's supposed to do at all. So I had to scrape most of that up, and I leveled it out and then mixed more and poured that, and that looks like it's did the job.
Yeah, that shit'll get hard quick.
Yeah, it was probably like a 6-minute conversation, and then in that 6 minutes it was the wrong consistency.
Are you confident that he is going to get this right?
I mean, one of the tries, not the first thing I would like to do trial and error with. But
Yeah, with a floor.
yeah.
My thinking was, so I got it like priced out, and this is like false confidence because my buddy's like, yeah, like this is no problem. He's like, look at this fucking wine cellar I built, and I'm like, okay, well, so I felt like I did the demo. That was easy, and I did the, which was like ripping out carpeting and shit like that, and then I think I did an okay job with the concrete. But I don't know what it's really supposed to look like. It looks like level concrete to me, and it was basically dry and hardened this morning.
As long as you're not falling through the floor, I'd consider it.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to fall through
Yeah,
the
but
floor.
you also don't want to be fucking walking up and down hills in a sunroom.
Well, that was the thing. It was like, because the sunroom, it used to be an outdoor space, so there's a drainage pipe, and then it got winterized before I bought the place, so it has like a slope down to the drainage where you would expect it to be. So you had to fill up like an inch of concrete in that corner to get the whole surface level enough for flooring.
That's ultimately why, like, I wouldn't do it. I know I could do it. I've done it before in construction, but once I saw the end product was like a little hilly, I just be like, okay, I have a hilly room in my house now forever.
Yeah.
I'm not redoing it.
Yeah, or you actually just have to call someone then.
Yeah, well, then I call somebody. I have to call somebody.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure. But it's not.
No worse for
It's
wear.
nice that you
Yeah,
gave it
a
a
little project.
gave it an honest try.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to do stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really know how to do anything. So
I always just looked at concrete as like, I'm outsourcing that every time. That's a little
that was
different.
my original plan, and then I got talked into doing this, and so far I'm glad that I did.
Yeah.
But there is a very real possibility by like 5 o'clock tonight, he's gonna be like, we got to get a new.
It's all coming up.
Yeah.
The problem is though, is when you want it to be the best.
Yeah.
course.
You know.
But it's like, so his dad was like a general contractor, so like he grew up knowing and being around and knowing how to do this shit, and I've seen like the projects he's done to his various houses over the last, I don't know, 10 years or whatever I've known him, and he made it seem like this won't be that big of a problem.
Did I tell you that I just got a fridge from White Sox Dave while we're still on house?
I remember that there was an issue with the fridge, like Dave put a dent in it or something before he even got it.
Yeah.
Why are you buying fridges
Why
from?
don't you buy his microwave?
So here's the situation. So I've done so much shit to my house. So I've moved my fridge like 3 times, and every time I've moved it, I've taken the door off, and the magnet is not great.
Oh, that sucks.
So, and it's super annoying. Like
Yeah.
you'll get home sometimes, and it'll just like.
Is it a magnet?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Right.
I don't know.
Mm,
Yeah.
I thought it was like
fridge-
air suction or something.
Whatever. It is.
Yeah.
Whatever
Gravity.
keeps it closed.
Yeah, it's gravity.
So I'm like, all right, and it's not a bad fridge, but White Sox Dave he's like, dude, I just got a brand new fridge, and like I have nothing to do with it. He's like, I tried to sell it on Marketplace for $500, nobody bit. I tried to give it away, nobody bit. He's like,
Please take
if
my
you want a
fridge.
fridge, it's brand new. Take it. I'm like, well, why are you getting rid of it? It's brand new. He's like, because he's like, there was a couple scratches on it, and he had a warranty on it, and he asked for a new one. I was like, oh. I was like, all right, if it's brand new, fine.
And was it?
No, it was not brand new. It was, but wouldn't you assume that
Of course.
if someone said that to you?
Not if Dave did. If anyone else did.
Yes, because I got it, and I'm like, it smells like it's been used. It looks like it's been used. There's obviously like this
Brand new to me.
parsley and shit. Like, yeah. I was
But
like,
did he get it? Like, because he just redid his kitchen. So did he get it for that renovation?
yes.
So it is only like,
Yes,
less than a year
which
old.
is fine. I'm not. It's not a big deal.
but it's
I don't-
game used.
It's game used for sure.
Yeah.
He got it last February, so it's like a year and a half used.
Right, he
But-
got you.
But the way he made it sound,
Yeah, he got you.
was that they installed this one. They saw the scratches and they're like, "Hey, pull this one out of here. I don't want these scratches," and they got a new one. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll take a never used fridge because it's better than mine because of the magnet issue."
Mm-hmm.
But it was not at all. And then when he was moving it out, he made a big dent on it. He's like, yeah, I didn't want to tell you. So I picked up his trash, essentially. That's what this is.
That's heavy trash, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just going to the wrong people, man.
And Dave wasn't home either. And it was just me and a couple friends. And
How did you even get it out of there?
me and a few friends, we just put it on a dolly and we pulled it out. It wasn't a huge fridge.
Did you just rent the truck?
No, he had a pickup truck.
Okay.
Started a pickup truck, boom. And next thing you know, I'm corralling Ace on Dave's deck. Just like, whatever. But no, everything's fine. But it was just, little
White Sox Dave experience.
lost in translation with White Sox Dave.
Mm-hmm.
But it was basically new.
Yeah. And you're using it currently,
Yes.
and the magnet works.
The magnet works, yes.
I actually got a new
Came out
fridge
of-
too in my apartment
Did you?
a couple of weeks ago.
Fucking
And
fridge
it
season.
kind of rocked because my freezer, something exploded in there. I was just about to clean it. Then the whole fridge stopped working. And I had to take everything out. And then I put in a request. Instead of having to clean the fridge, just got a brand new one.
That's nice.
Wasn't bad.
That's real nice. I also I wanted to bring notice to a video I shot Friday. Well, you remember Dilla,
Yeah, of course.
the historian, Chicago historian? He took me to the South Side. We went to a few places. We went to this place called Altgeld Gardens, and then we went to Parkway Gardens, which is O Block.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting experience.
You scared?
There was a situation where it got a little hairy.
Lance is not
Yeah.
along.
Lance and
Yeah,
Emily
it's-
both came.
That's fair to say, yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
it got a little.
How so, Harry? How?
So we
Did you
obviously,
get out of the car?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we did, and obviously we did this out of like, if you're interested in history and just like how shit is, like I think you'll enjoy the video. It's not like anything electric. It's just a history
Mm-hmm.
video in the place.
Okay.
You know
That's what Dilla does.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's nothing insane, and we went there initially. Went to the first place, this Altgeld Gardens place. It's called a Toxic Donut. Like that's what they call it. It's some like from what the stat he told me is more people have died here from toxins from the plants of steel plants and all that shit around it than like any place in America.
Really?
Yeah, like Tim Hardaway's from there and a couple other NBA guys. And he showed me that there's like a wall where everyone who's died, like their name is written on it. And obviously a rougher neighborhood. And we went to the high school, whatever. And then after that, we went to Wood Lawn, where O Block is. And we got out. And as soon as we got out, so if you don't know about O Block, it's all fenced in.
Yeah.
It's all fenced in. There's only one way in, one way out.
For the younger crowd, it's where Chief Keef, Lil Durk are from.
Yes, exactly. Chief Keef, Lil Durk, King Von.
Yep.
And so initially, we're standing at the cars, like there, right there with the cameras, and there are 3 kids on the other side of the gate. And they just kind of rolled up and they're like, "Hey, like, stop filming. You're not allowed to film here." He's like, "This is not like no free promo, like whatever." Because they're so used to people just coming, kind of getting their clicks and clout and views and making them look like assholes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, are we going to be all right? And he's like, we will be. And he goes up to him. He just has a conversation with him. He's like, hey, we're not here to talk about like the bad shit. We're here to talk about like what the truth is and how it got the name and like the history of it. He's like, I'm a Chicago historian. Like, all right, let me see your Instagram. Like, let me see your, and they show them pins. Like, all right, you guys are good. But it was
You show him yours or Barstool Chicago's?
He showed him his.
It was just Dilla.
Just Dilla's.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, those video glasses seem like they could really come in handy when you're shooting videos in O Block.
For sure. And it was just interesting because I hadn't thought of it of that perspective.
Yeah.
How many people are just going there with a camera just to capture shit to
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
for that process. So
Probably most of them.
yeah, for sure. I don't know. Did I miss anything there, Lance?
When's it come
No,
out?
that was pretty spot on.
Friday.
Yeah, we're gonna drop it this Friday.
Yeah, I dropped it this
yeah.
Friday. And I was just interested too because obviously I've lived here my whole life and parts I've never seen.
For
Yeah.
sure.
You know? So it was interesting to see something that you pretty much only heard about because
Yeah, I'm probably about to be hearing about most of it for the first time. Come
Yeah.
Friday.
yeah. So that comes out Friday at the latest, like Monday maybe. I don't know. Right?
Yeah, we're gonna try to drop it before break. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, because this will be the last free swim. There will be not one next week. So we will be back on the 9th. So yeah, I don't know. I just want to touch on that real quick. It was interesting.
Yeah,
It
sounds
was
good.
yeah, Dilla's the man. He does great work.
Yeah.
All your videos have been great so far, doing different things in Chicago.
Thank
Big
you.
Cat,
Appreciate
Vienna Beef
that.
Factory. Now
Appreciate
this.
that. Yeah, it was good. All right. Anything else before we wrap this up?
I want to do a video with Eddie going somewhere in Chicago too. Let us know any suggestions.
Yeah, for sure. Let us know. We'll do
You guys
one.
should do a Northwest Side one.
We really should.
Yeah, might as
Yeah,
well.
I know. Because it's kind of like
Where do we go? Like, that's a lot to cover. And
I know, and it's. I've learned that it's hard to cover your like upbringing
'Cause you're like-
because it's just like normal.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
like even like Dave did a pizza review yesterday
Yeah,
or 2 days ago in like the neighborhood I live in now where Danny grew up.
yeah, it's like my family's pizza spot, Dino's.
Yeah, and it's like
Good score.
it was a fine score.
Great score for that.
Yeah. He doesn't. He doesn't
Chicago
like.
Tavern.
Yeah, exactly. And to me, it's awesome. It's old school, but I'm sure people watching would be like, "Oh, that's so cool." But to us, it's just second nature,
Mhm.
That's your spot.
right? Yes.
Yeah.
We would go there Thursdays before football. Like it was like a pregame dinner, like Dino's.
We could figure something out.
Yeah, there's definitely cool spots over there. That would be.
Forest Preserve.
Yeah. That, honestly, probably would
Dude,
be
yeah.
fun. Where it's the booze and stuff like that. But yeah, let us know if there's something particular you want to see or something like that. All right, then. On that note, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Also, the DMs are open on Dog Walks, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. If you ever have an on the leash, off the leash, or just a topic you want us to discuss, let us know. We will be running a best of next week, the whole week. And yeah, that's all I got, unless if you guys have anything.
Hope have a good break, everyone.
Sweet. We'll be here tomorrow, and then we'll see you next week.